Barbie! I told you to wait in the dream house.
Boys, avenge me! Avenge me! Avengers!
Bazinga.
Scruffy-looking nerf herders.
Ethan Hunt contacted you?
I am good, Rooster. I'm very good.
So you are Yoi, the trainer who trains.
Gonzo the Great will ride this baby again.
Hello and welcome to episode 127. It feels like it's all been building to this, that we've been on a journey for years, finding our way to the Odyssey. But first, boys, how we doing?
Good. Weird weather this week, but good.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
It's
you
kind
guys,
of perfect. It's kind of
smoked
perfect
out?
for a movie with all the smog.
Yeah, we got big time smoked out.
Mm-hmm.
Like as soon as I'd step outside, I felt like crap. So I just isolated myself to the inside all week. It's good movie day, like you said, Chuck. But man, it's kind of hoping to get outside.
Yeah.
I found this thing called ambient weather, which is like a local weather thing that people can set up in their own yards. Basically, it's like your neighbors can set up like a weather station, and then like their readings go together with everyone else around you, and it tells you like the real weather that's happening versus like, like if you turn on the news, it'll be like a general area of
that's
like 80
interesting.
miles. So I found that 'cause I
aggregates
was-
all of like the
and it tells you like truly where you are locally, what your weather is. And so I was like, because the world was yellow outside for like days. So I was like, all right, let's figure out. And it literally was like hazardous. Do not go outside. Like this. Yeah, it was so bad. I was like that. Okay, good to know. Good to know what I already knew, but also good to know from like a numbers perspective.
But what does that actually mean? Like if it's that hazardous and you go out for 20
I
minutes.
think they said it was like smoking a pack of cigarettes if you were outside for like 20 minutes.
Okay, I mean that's fine.
I've never smoked a pack of cigarettes, so
So you're
that was
good.
pretty intense for me.
But I also feel like if you smoke one pack of cigarettes, you're probably okay.
Yeah, I think it just depends like if your house is well insulated. Like if you had poor insulation or like you have poor ceiling and you're just like breathing it in all day, every day for like 5 days straight, it's probably pretty bad.
Dude, I
Yeah,
have a
my-
buddy who's a wildland firefighter out in Colorado. And I just
Yeah,
have to
then-
think like he breathes this stuff every day.
Well, I'm sure they
He's
have
like-
like good masks and stuff. It's like
That's a
firefighters
good
have
point.
masks.
That's a good point. I didn't
It's
think
not like they're
about
just
that.
coming
No,
in.
they just raw dog it. They're strong like that.
Well,
They're used to it.
Yeah. But no, we've I think survived the Canadian fires and we made out the other side. Just like Odysseus and his crew. Well, I guess Odysseus.
great transition.
We pushed through. Let's get into the Odyssey. We have been, to say excited is an understatement to talk about the Odyssey for, it feels like,
It's been 2 years.
Well, yeah, I mean, we had, I'm trying to think, what did the first teaser for the Odyssey release with last year? What was that?
That was Matt Damon on the raft.
Yeah, but what did it come out with? Because he usually does this year out. Let's see, the Odyssey teaser.
Well, what did it come out? That was just like the 10-second video of Matt Damon on the raft, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, there's not a specific movie
I think
last
it was
summer that I believe.
It debuted with Jurassic World Rebirth, and it played in front of a couple of things last year, including Superman.
Yes, I actually do remember that because
Yeah.
I went to go see Jurassic Park and they showed it before my screening. I do
Yes.
remember that. But it seems odd that Jurassic Park was.
Well,
it's
they're both
very funny
Universal.
that- yes.
Mm.
No, I gotcha. But I just think it's funny that that's kind of like they're of the same cloth. They really
Yeah,
are. I mean,
in a sense.
Jurassic World. My goodness,
They're pretty much
when
the
I
same.
watched the Odyssey, that's all I thought about. I was like, man, like these two movies, so
They
large
had
in scale,
dinosaurs in
so
here.
oh,
Yeah. But the Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's follow-up to Oppenheimer, his multi-Oscar award-winning film. Some say the best of his filmography, which I am some. I'll say that. Based on Homer's epic, following the story of the Iliad, starring Matt Damon. Look at this. Starring Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, Charlize Theron, Zendaya, Benny Safdie, John Bernthal, John Leguizamo, Hamish Patel, and Mia Goth. Fellas,
AKA everyone.
everybody. Fellas, first I think we should say what format we saw this in, and then we'll get into our thoughts.
I'll go first. I saw it in Excel. Like a little idiot. I was really pumped to not see it in IMAX. I'll see it in IMAX, but I was only able to see it in Excel this week.
Hey, that's okay, man. That's okay. Jack, what did you see it in? Oh, I think we lost him again. All right. Well, I saw it in regular IMAX. I saw it in standard IMAX. No kind of 70 millimeter or anything like that. But I am going to see it again today after we record in regular 70 millimeter. So not IMAX 70 millimeter, but regular 70 millimeter.
I saw it in Dolby for my first watch, and then I watched it in IMAX.
Was it loud?
Dolby, I would not go see it in Dolby again.
Oh, too loud.
If you can see it in IMAX.
Dolbys are loud. Like, I feel like I go to a Dolby and I'm just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, I also think just like, I mean, it has the reclining seats, but I don't mind the IMAX seats personally, because like if you get that superior image, like I don't mind that I'm not like laying down like I'm about to go to sleep, you know?
Yeah.
Plus my recliner at the Dolby was broken anyway, so everybody else is like, and I'm just like,
We were locked in.
I was locked in, but I think I don't know what it was with the sound mixing, but I feel like there were points in the movie with Dolby that I had a tough time making out what they were saying over the score.
I wonder if that was an intentional choice though, because of Tenet, where the choice in Tenet was, if you can't hear it, it doesn't really matter. Like I remember him saying that. I'm just like, people are mad about the sound mixing, and he's just like, yeah, well, that's part of the choice.
I don't know. In Dolby, I feel like I had a tough time making out some conversations, and the score's phenomenal. I mean, I thought it was great, but I do think there's points in Dolby versus IMAX where the sound was a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, that's fair. Very fair.
Highly recommend IMAX though.
Well, Charles, would you like to go first on your thoughts on Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey?
Sure. So I got called lame by several people because I saw it on Friday night, and there were like a couple get-togethers going on at these bars, and I was like, "Sorry guys, I got to do something else. I got to go see about a movie." And I get out of the theater and I have like a couple texts just like, "You're so lame for not." It's like, guys, come on, it's like the Odyssey. What are we saying? I went into it thinking like maybe like top half of my Nolan films. Like I didn't go into it thinking it'd be the best. I didn't think it'd be a top 3. Didn't think I'd give it 5 stars. I don't know why. I wasn't that familiar with the story of the Odyssey. I didn't know it was about Greek mythology even. Like I knew very little going into it, which I kind of liked. But I don't know why I doubted Nolan at all, frankly. The beginning is a tad slow, but again, as someone who's not familiar with the story, I didn't mind it because I thought it was a ton of really relevant kind of background that I think made the rest of the movie way, way better. Like if they had trimmed 30 minutes of the front half of the movie just to get to, some of the more exciting parts in the second and third act of the movie, I think overall it would have been like a more exciting movie, but I think there would have been a lot of relevant details missing, at least for me, for someone that's not familiar with the story, and it wouldn't have made the ending as impactful, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I just bring that up because I've seen a lot of kind of discourse online that it's very long and the beginning is kind of slow, but I liked that personally. I mean, well acted, obviously. It sounded awesome. I love the score. This what's his name? Ludwig, like Göransson or
Yeah.
something.
Ludwig Göransson.
There you go.
The
He's
goat.
he like on how old is he? Like 30? He's young.
Yeah.
Young
I'm pretty
goat.
fired up about what his career could end up looking like. Like I think he's already in the conversation with John Williams and Hans Zimmer with just some of the like Sinners, with this, with Black Panther, like Oppenheimer. Score was
Creed.
sweet. I loved all like the practical kind of designs and the practical sets. It just like you literally felt like you were in this world. And I can only imagine in IMAX you feel it even more. Like you feel like you're actually stepping into it. Even just seeing it in XL, like it was awesome. Um, and then I think the ending is like I texted you, Hunter, about this yesterday. I think the ending is like up there with Gladiator, like this decade's Gladiator. Like if you took Gladiator in the 2000s and what that did for society, like what the story and like the impact it had and the ending and just overall, I would say in the 2020s, the Odyssey is very like I kind of put those in the same vein almost. I think the ending's great. Um, yeah, that's kind of all I've got. This is, I would say, probably the best movie I've ever seen in theaters. I don't think it's the greatest film like theater experience per se, because I just don't think you can. It's a very different from like a No Way Home or an Endgame where like everyone collectively goes and like yeah, it gets fired up. But
Cheering.
I will say, dude, people were clapping in my theater, in my IMAX theater.
really,
There were some
Like,
claps
there'd be-
for mine as well.
Yeah.
Like-
the we'll talk about it later. But
Within the last 20
there's-
minutes of the film, there was quite a few claps
Yeah.
at certain points.
Yeah.
but just seeing a 3-hour movie and being dialed the entire time, and I feel like you go to a lot of movies these days and people are checking their phones and like people are distracted, people are getting up, which is fine. But like going to see a 3-hour movie that objectively is a bit slower for like the first hour and just like everyone being dialed on the same thing, no one getting up, no one checking their phones. Like this was, I think everyone was just so captivated because it's like one of the greatest films in recent history. Maybe that's a hot take, maybe it's not, but that's I would say my opinion. It's my favorite Nolan movie now. It was Interstellar. I would say this is now. And that may be because I was able to see it in theaters. Like I saw Interstellar on that TV right there down in my mom's basement. And like it's definitely not the same. But yeah, I mean, it was just like a phenomenal experience.
Yeah. Jack, you want to go next?
Sorry if that was long-winded.
No, please.
No,
I like
no. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you hit a lot of the stuff that, I mean, I probably will say again, but probably won't need to. Again, just like the size of this movie, it's undeniable. I just think there's like 3-second sequences or shots that don't really add a lot to the plot to the movie, and you easily could take them out, but it's kind of that extra added layer of detail that Nolan goes to kind of like further immerse you into this story that makes it that much better. You know, like I feel like you have these grand epics that, people have had in the past. I know like Lawrence of Arabia is a very common and very popular one that's discussed. But like I feel like the Odyssey is kind of this generation's massive epic. Like there's just so many sequences in this movie that are just insane. A lot of them that come to mind, the boat sequences in this movie are ridiculous. Like I think every time they had those, they not only did they look beautiful, but I know that they had to create all new IMAX technology to even get a lot of these shots, and that totally makes sense considering what this movie gives us. I will say though, I think when I saw this for the first time in Dolby, and I think I had a hard time making out what they were saying. So I don't think I was really able to capture the full experience with this movie. And not to mention, kind of as I know Hunter mentioned in his Letterboxd review, but the beginning was a bit clunky for me on the first watch, and I think this movie's demanding a lot of you. They're not demanding a lot, but it's more or less just like it's throwing you into this world and it's asking you to just accept it, you know? And I think for me it took a minute to get settled. But dude, when I hopped back in for my second watch, like I melted right into my seat, like from the get-go. Like I was so amped. Like I genuinely could not tell you how amazing my IMAX screening was. And I've been trying to go back again since, but they're literally sold out for the next week in DC. Like you cannot go see this movie in IMAX anywhere. Yeah. Hunter?
Yeah, no, I really loved it. I'm excited to see it again tonight. I do, like the Letterboxd review said, I think the beginning is clunky because I think, and it's hard. I just watched Oppenheimer kind of this last week in preparation for this one. And I think it made me think a lot about the parallels between those two films, which there are quite a bit. And I think the part that makes Odyssey a bit more difficult from a story perspective is it's not just focused on really one person. It jumps back and forth between, Odysseus and his son quite a bit. We have to see kind of where the suitors are at. Like there's a lot of different things that are happening all at once versus you have something like Oppenheimer where it's much more focused on one man's journey and the people around him are kind of just supplemental in his journey. And I do think that makes the first hour a bit clunkier, but once this finds its footing, it is sprinting to the finish line in like the most impressive fashion. The last 30 minutes of this movie, I think, are the most impressive thing Nolan's ever done. Truthfully, I mean, it just is edge of your seat, nonstop, not just like action, but just momentum. Like the fact that the momentum continues to push and push and push is very impressive. And I do think thematically it's very interesting. And I do wonder, we'll jump into it, spoilers, but the revelation that Odysseus comes to when talking to Penelope, I think is so important to everything around this movie. And I wonder if it will reframe everything that you watch earlier on a second watch through. So like Jack, I mean, obviously you've seen it twice. Like I wonder if maybe that has sat in the back of your mind of the revelation of this film when you're rewatching everything. Like, and I do think it's almost funny as well, which we could touch back into spoilers of the last two protagonists in Nolan projects very much go on the same journey of discovery and discover almost the same thing, which I think is a very interesting thematic through line for these two. But no, I mean, it's incredible. It's really, really well done. I do think that a story like this, people obviously talking about like the mythology part of it to creating accuracy within the original story. I think that this is something that if you take creative liberties with, it's okay. I think that this is a story that like you can kind of mix and mold. And I think that's part of like mythology, especially it's almost a part of the film, like part of, the stories that they hear is like things that change over time. And by the time they hear about it, it's so different, which is revealed in the movie. So I do think that from like that perspective, this is doing a lot thematically. And it's just stunning to look at. It really is. I think my biggest qualm, maybe if there's a word, if that's the right word, is I think that there is a clear current limitation of IMAX from a longevity perspective. So like what I mean by that is like certain shots cut earlier than you maybe would want them to because of the limitations of IMAX. So, those film reels can only run for, I think it's like 2 minutes or something before you have to change them out. And so if you're taking a sweeping shot and you have to cut because the film reel has to change, then like that chops up the story in some perspectives. And I think that is a limitation that he's really overcome, but you notice it in certain spots. And I think that there's also the limitation of just the film reel itself. Like the film reel is limited to, I think it's 3 hours basically on the nose. And so Nolan has to cut this movie under that. And I think there's parts in this movie that you wish had a little bit more time to breathe, where it, it'd be like more time to spend with certain, beats of this that I think would have made it a little bit more impactful. Having said that, though, I think this is like beyond impressive. Like, I really loved it. I think I'm going to like it even more on a second watch tonight. And I think for me, this is Mount Rushmore for Nolan. I don't think it cracks the top 3, but after tonight and a second watch through, and I think that's part of Nolan's, skill set is like somehow the Odyssey or somehow Oppenheimer for me gets better every single time I see it. And I thought it was like 100 out of 100 from day one. But the same thing with Interstellar and like The Dark Knight is like these they grow on you, and you're like, you find little things every single time. And I'm sure the Odyssey will be very similar from that perspective. Other things before we get into spoilers: practical effects, like Jack kind of mentioned, incredible. Building these sets, the scene where they go to the island. I'm trying to remember the witch's name, but
Cersei.
Yes, where they eat the food. I mean, just straight up horror. Everything with the Cyclops was incredible.
I loved the
Cyclops. That
Cyclops
was just stunning and a pure horror moment, which was awesome. And no, I loved like so much about this. I just think from like a getting going perspective, it takes a bit to just find its footing, but once it does, I mean, it is full sprint to the finish, which is awesome. But yeah, no, really, really liked it. It's right now, I think it's number 2 on the year for me. I'd have to double check, but I think it's 2 right now for me, and I think it very easily could take over 1 when tonight's screening is all said and done. But yeah, also Agamemnon is like the coolest dude I've ever seen in my life. So scary. The fact they got Benny Safdie. Yeah, the fact they got Benny Safdie to be like the most aura-filled man around is just and like the scariest dude you've ever seen. I'm just like, yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, do you want to get into some spoilers?
Sure.
Yes.
All right.
I think.
Yeah.
So I guess we're this kind of takes a different direction. I think Tom Holland. I was shocked.
He was good. I thought he was really good.
I thought he was great.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about how Timothy and Tom Holland are kind of like the 2 guys in that age group that like made it big at the same time, and Timothy has just like his filmography has taken off way more than Tom Holland's, and Tom Holland has just had pretty. He's Spider-Man. I don't want to say lesser, but he's just had projects.
You didn't like the Uncharted movie?
Pretty close to Dune Part 2, but no. But like I thought he was really good. I don't think it was a very easy role, but I think he did very well overall. I don't think there was anyone that was. Did you guys feel like there was anyone that didn't kind of carry their weight? I loved Robert Pattinson.
It's not a weak link in this entire movie. I think everybody is performing at a very high level. And I think for Tom Holland, like this is a career best.
100%.
I agree. I think he's really, and people are like, "Oh, you hating on him?" I see him. It's just like I don't get what you guys are hating on. Like I think this is really good work.
The hate surrounding this movie has been insufferable.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen a lot of it.
Oh my gosh. It's like just about any video I posted for the Odyssey, there's always like the comments that you've probably, I don't know if you've seen any of the comments online, but it's just like straight hate for this movie. Like,
yeah,
no critical thinking.
Clicks.
I know, and it's kind of crazy that Christopher Nolan, one of the greatest directors working today, and you have people like actively out there trying to hate on this movie, and it's still probably going to open up $250 million worldwide.
Yeah, I think it's the biggest opening of his career, even bigger than Batman's.
It's just, it's ridiculous
for a 3-hour movie too. That's rated R.
Yeah,
I
will say, one of the things I'm not going to say I was like let down with this. Me too. I don't think they leaned into the R rating as much as they could have.
Yeah. This is like a very soft R.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no nudity. There's not really any swearing.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised.
Maybe
by
it's
that.
just like more mature concepts.
I mean, unless you count the backs of the pigs and all that stuff, because
Yeah, maybe.
technically they are men.
True. Yeah, with the deer. He shot the deer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean, for me, like the last 30 minutes are obviously the biggest spoiler of the film. And there's kind of the two main points I think that are like the biggest standout and really take this from like this is really, really good to like this is a great masterpiece territory is when Odysseus reveals himself using the bow. And then the musical cue kind of hits, I thought was just, I mean, transcendent. Like, you know, you do,
sweet.
Yeah, you do the lock-in, like the verbal meme lock-in of like that guy. It is so awesome. And then I think the entire conversation with Penelope is so good. And like I said kind of earlier, like it mirrors Oppenheimer in a sense. Like two men who make a choice to win a war, a choice that they didn't think was that big of a deal in the grand scheme. We thought, hey, this would usher in an era of peace. Turned out it was the complete opposite, and it almost is like the ending of the world they knew prior. And it's very interesting that like Nolan has latched on to that concept and kind of that mindset, because I think it's a very interesting kind of thing. Like the whole Zeus's law, in a sense, is like, you know, like I guess kind of like the rules of war. And it was just like both of these men thinking that they were noble, you know, violated them in different ways, and it never was the same afterwards. I think that's just a really interesting kind of thing, and it makes me wonder too, like what his next project will be. Like, will it kind of carry that thematic lens and carry that choice, or will it just be like, hey, I did my two where I wanted to talk about this, and now I'll move on to something else. But I think it is so interesting that like those are his last two protagonists, kind of back to back.
I have an idea for a Nolan movie.
Ooh.
Not entirely, but I have something I would like to see. But
Yeah.
I want to talk about that once we've gotten
Save it.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna save it.
I
thought to add on. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No. Please.
I was saying, like, obviously, when you're talking about these two protagonists that are dealing with the consequences of their actions, not understanding the importance of them at the time that they make them, specifically the two scenes that, like, the scene when he's walking up the stairs in Troy and you just hear that loud, like, it's almost like the steps, and it's almost like this overstimulating feeling. Like, that to me gave me flashbacks to the scene in Oppenheimer when he's in the town hall and he's like, do you remember like all their like feet, they're like stomping and like excitement, but for him, like, he's like so obviously just like in like shock and in fear. And I think that's like the same thing here. And even that scene when I think it's just insane how the first half of the movie, before they open up the gate and all the soldiers run in, like that is just a pure like adrenaline.
Just like standing there.
It is
the coolest you've ever seen.
It is beautiful. He drops
when he drops the lantern and it lights them all up. Oh my god!
Like that gets you so excited, and you're so pumped. And then you have that piece, and then how you place the next piece all the way at the end of the movie once he's having this confession with Penelope, and it shows when all the soldiers run in, and it's not like they're just going for the soldiers. I mean, they're going for the civilians. It's everyone, and it's like you have this overwhelming feeling of like, oh my gosh, like this is like, it's hard to watch, you know, like this is just a lot. It was so much to take in. And I think for me, that's when I kind of found myself getting emotional on the second watch of this movie, is because like, I think it's just like, again, they talk about Zeus's law, but like that is the moment where it's like violated to the max, where
and it recontextualizes Zendaya's whole role, which I think is so interesting. Like that becomes the face of Athena for him. Yeah. And it haunts him. Like it truly is like a haunting thing. And it really makes every time he sees her that much more impactful. And I think that's really interesting on a second watch through today. Like now knowing the context, it's like, and then it too, like once he becomes at peace with that, understands what he did, she goes away.
Yeah.
And I think that is so interesting. It's so
So the
well
gods
done.
forgive him then after punishing, because like the whole thing is like they're punishing him over during his voyage by putting him through all this, putting his crew through all this, and then basically exiling him to this island. So is that at that point when he gets released and when he like has that conversation with Penelope, like is that the gods forgiving him?
I mean, for all we know,
becoming at peace with the gods. Like I think that he even agrees. Like he's almost ruined Zeus's law. Like there's the rumors of the sea people, and he is the sea people. Like it turns out he's the bad guy almost all along. And with that too, I think that, part of it is the gods almost got their revenge. Like they took all that time from him. And it's for a couple of things. Like obviously it's for the fall of Troy, but two, I mean, it's like they said earlier, like his one choice of cruelty again later on with the Cyclops made Poseidon all mad. So like the winds were never on their side again because of what Poseidon did. So like he had to earn back, like he literally had to go to hell and back just to get home.
I think like her going away, I think it was very symbolic of him again, like this internal conflict that he's had in the movie. But I think it's like obviously the ending of this movie is very much it. They find a way to spin it in a way like, oh, like humanity is going to, get better, but then it's going to make the same mistakes again, but then in terms of the ending for Odysseus and Penelope, it's like, oh, they ride off into the sunset. But like, while they do that, I don't really think that he's like no longer going to be haunted by the things that he did. Like just because that, like her ghost or her presence goes away, like that's going to stick with him forever. Like that's
what he says. Like he's literally going into exile. Like that's part of it. Also, like his whole thing is I want to go back to my land, and then the moment he gets back, he has to leave again. Like it's not like he actually gets to stay on the island and like enjoy being king. Like he gives up the throne and literally goes into exile. The only difference is now that he's with his wife, but like the world that they knew and the world he was fighting and clawing to get back to, he'll never have again still. And I think that that's almost still his punishment for the choices he made.
Yeah. But I still see it as like him and Penelope, like obviously they would have loved to have had Telemachus come along with them. I think that the way that things worked out worked great, but I still think like him running off into the sunset with his wife is still a very much a happy ending.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, I don't think it's I mean, the fact that they're talking at the beginning of the movie and she's like, let's just leave. Like we don't need to stay here. We can like run away and be alone with ourselves,
Yeah.
And I think I mean, just about everything Penelope wanted, she kind of got.
Yeah, just way later than she wanted it to be.
Yes.
It's kind of like I kind of looked at them sailing away as like the same thing as in Lord of the Rings at the end when they sail off to the Undying Lands.
Yeah, I think that's very similar, and I wouldn't be shocked if you found somewhere, that it was actually like Tolkien, in a sense, copied it, or like at least took thematic choices from it. And I think that actually thematically it works really similar because it's like the elves are leaving because the time of man has now taken over and man is flawed and broken. And almost in the same way, Odysseus harkens that time in because he breaks Zeus's law such a way that no one is, kind of sticking with it anymore. And so them sailing away is almost like them hearkening in a time of man in a sense, which is almost true because it's like the mythology and the monsters kind of go away because man takes over, and like they're the last kind of voyage of that time in the same way for
that, and there's just kind of nothing left for him.
Yeah,
like and that's after the trip, and there was really nothing left for them to.
I guess more thematically than them just hanging out.
Yeah,
Chuck, there was a scene when they're on the island of Circe, when the soldiers are walking up the the mountain. They're kind of like
Oh,
all
yeah.
lined up. I was like, oh, Chuck's got to be loving this right now.
Yeah, it did look like the Shire.
I was like, oh my gosh, this. I was like, this. These are like this is the Lord of the Rings. This is the Fellowship. They're just one
Walking
by
up the
one.
hill.
They're just I mean, I know that's not like
they should have played the music. Dun, 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 just to go up to Cersei's house.
Dude, I've been listening to the Lord of the Rings score this past week. By the way, just
Howard
wanted to
Shore.
let you know, Chuck. Just wanted to let you know.
That's a vinyl I should get. That'd be a nice vinyl to have.
Gets you jazzed.
Yeah.
Hunter, I'm excited. I'm excited for you to see this again because I think that there's
Yeah, I really am
so
very
much
excited.
I
I wanna see it
appreciated
again,
more,
too.
and I think this story comes together to me so much better on a rewatch because I think there's moments and bits and pieces that you can appreciate on the first watch, but I think that for me, the story really came together,
Yeah.
and I was a lot more emotionally invested in the story on a second watch. So
Yeah. No, I think I'm very excited about it. And I think, too, like we talked about, like there's a lot of stuff that in the last 20 minutes gets very much recontextualized. And I think watching it again might really, change that. And I think the one scene I think is really interesting is when they get out of the horse and break into Troy. When you first watch it, you're like, yes, like let's go. Like, come on, open the door. And now almost on rewatch, you're like, I don't want you to open the door. Like, don't open the door. like you're gonna ruin everything that once was. And I think that's really, I don't know, just really kind of interesting way to do it. And I think the one person we kind of haven't talked about yet, which is surprising, is Robert Pattinson, who is so good here as just like the
Slime ball.
just slime ball, like the greasy
plate liquor like you.
Yeah, it's so good, dude.
Oh,
It's
somebody
so
get these
good.
beggars out of here.
Yeah, grab the sword, like grab the like him just behind the poles and stuff is so. He's so good. Like it's amazing that he has been on such a run for how good he's been. So good.
Who would get, do you guys think, the nods here for awards? So obviously Matt Damon, best lead, and Anne Hathaway,
Yeah.
best leading actress. Who would get the supporting cast nods?
I'd like to see Tom, but I don't know.
I don't think well, I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of Hollywood politicking that goes in behind the scenes with Oscars. So, like, I wouldn't be shocked if he got a nom. But I think of this crew, Pattinson is number one, and I thought Leguizamo was really good. I mean, I think if you're talking about second place, it's between him and Holland. But I think that's kind of your 1-2. But I think if anybody, it's Pattinson is going to get the nod.
Is there a best supporting actress in this cohort?
No, I mean, because the only other person really would be Lupita Nyong'o, and she's just not in it very much. And then
Charlize Theron?
But even she's not like doing a whole lot. Like, it's not like she's kind of just there in a sense.
Yeah. And Zendaya wasn't in it much. Yeah, I agree.
No, and Zendaya is mainly like a presence versus like her acting ability.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be shocked if we get Zendaya later in the year for Dune.
Do we think Matt Damon could bring it home?
Well, that's part of the news today too. Is like the best actor race is heating up. With obviously, we'll talk about the Digger trailer later on, but we also got Behemoth, which is coming out later this year, and that looks really good. So it's kind of heating up. I do think right now it's a 2-horse race between Damon and Cruise. I mean, just from like a knowing the Academy perspective, but then at the same time, Chalamet is right there with Dune 3. If Dune 3 becomes what we all think it is, it could be very much a 3-horse race between those three.
I don't think you can discount the indie darlings that we're gonna get towards the back end of this year either.
Yeah, there's always a couple that just creep up out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, out of this though, I think Damon for best actor for me. I feel like that feels like a lock. Not only like do I think he's great here, but I think obviously he has the pull with the Academy. I think he's been And then you have Nolan for best director. You have cinematography. You have sound
score.
You have score. I think costumes are great. I'm very interested to see because I know like there's two very or no, I'm not saying it's gonna win. I'm just saying like
but nominated.
Yeah, I think the costumes are great
Yeah.
here. I'm very interested though because I've seen a lot of other people's opinions that they're just kind of like very much out on it. I'd love to see the costumes get a.
Will this get adapted screenplay?
I guess so.
Well, I mean, but the problem with this is which is fascinating is you have a Return of the King style movie coming out in December. Like you just do, like Dune 3 has kind of been ramping up, ready for this moment. Like you have a very like it's kind of like here we are, we're due. Like we put in our dues for part 1, for part 2. Here comes part 3, the big conclusion of it all, which is very similar to Lord of the Rings. And if it sticks the landing in the same Return of the King style way, like we think it could, that could throw a big wrench into a lot of this Oscars because it's just like, all right, now is it Denny versus Nolan? Like, is it Dune 3 versus like the Odyssey for Best Picture? Is like where does the adapted screenplay mean? Because it comes from Dune Messiah. So like there's a lot, I think, riding on Dune. So like right now, the Odyssey clear leader in the clubhouse kind of thing. But you got Tiger Woods in the course right now, and he's just making the turn on 9, and it's just like, buddy, here comes the Grim Reaper, like he's coming, and so it's like, all he's got like that's where it's really interesting, and then the cruise of it all, like I mean, you got an Academy darling like Cruise doing something so weird, so bizarre, clearly trying to win the Oscar, like the campaign has begun. And I think that like it's just a fascinating Oscar cycle, and we're literally only in July. Like that's so cool to me that we're like 8 months out and we're like already talking like this.
Is it crazy for me to say that Cruise like isn't an Academy darling? Like I feel like he like at this point of his career like he could be, but like I feel like in the past like he's just been like overlooked by them constantly.
I think he really has turned the corner since Maverick. Like I think I think there's a perception that he truly did save theaters, and I think he almost is like the last bastion of movie star. That I do think that there is a large swath of people who want to see him succeed, and they did get. Last year they gave him that like lifetime achievement award. Like they did. And I think part of it is just like people are finally kind of coming around to it. And I do think there's been obviously performances passed up by him. I think Jerry Maguire is one. I think Rain Man's another. Just like incredible.
Magnolia.
Yeah, Magnolia. And I think in the same vein, like if you were to just say the same thing about Timmy right now, you'd agree. You'd be like, well, yeah, they missed him on this, this, and this, and it's just like I think that just happens a lot. Like think of Leo.
Well, yeah, but like Timothée Chalamet, respectfully, hasn't had half of the.
No, but I mean Leo. I think Leo is probably the better comp of like Leo.
Yeah. No, I can
paid his dues and got passed up on, I would argue, better roles than The Revenant, but finally got his one. And this just feels like it's set up for Cruise in a sense, but you got two people coming on the line.
I know. I'm just sick of
awesome.
the legacy.
It's so awesome.
Just like
people want to see him get his flowers, I think.
Yeah. And I think part of it too is like, the Stunts Awards coming next year. And it's right after Mission Impossible wrapped up. And it's like, are you kidding me?
Do you think that I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. Or like, do you think him getting his honorary Oscar could deter some people from putting him in for this? Like, I don't. Okay.
No, I don't. I mean, I'm saying this obviously very speculating, based on just the trailer performance, but like, it's pretty clear from this trailer and everything around this movie that he is doing everything in his power to clearly indicate he wants the Oscar. And I think Cruise at this point in his career, after arguably his biggest last 5 years, you could say, between Maverick and the last 2 Mission Impossibles, made a very specific career choice to do this weird Alejandro Inarritu movie where he is in a fat suit and looks old with a bad hairline. Like it's a fascinating career choice that I think only has one direction of just like, I want the gold man. Give me the gold man. Like I really do think that there's only one thing here for it. And based on everything around it, I would not be shocked if it's kind of the one thing that movie ends up getting. Like, I think it'll be one of those like, but then again, we might talk about in a few minutes, like there's also 1% chance it turns into Mickey 17 and that'd be horrible. So like, I'm not saying I think this is a guaranteed lock of a great film, but I do think no matter what, we'll get a great Cruise performance out of it.
No, I hear you. Sorry, we got kind of sidetracked.
We
From
did.
The Odyssey.
We got Oscar talked.
We got crucified.
We started
That's
off
my
on a
bad.
journey and got
That's
lost
my
along
bad.
the way.
That's my bad.
We'll find our way home.
What was your guys' favorite scene from the movie? There's so many to choose from. There's like, I was telling somebody, I think you could truly choose any 20-minute sequence, 30-minute sequence, turn it on the TV, be amazed, turn it off and be like, wow, that was awesome. And kind of like go about your day and do whatever. And not to say that this movie doesn't have, great continuity or it doesn't keep you engaged wanting to watch more, but
Yeah.
there are some incredible sequences that take place in a pretty brief amount of time.
I mean, I think my favorite moment was when they opened the gates and Eggman Mom, however you say it, was standing there. Like that was just like such an amazing shot. But I do think my favorite scene, which is a very small scene, but I liked when Odysseus is finally home and he's walking up to the suitors, final showdown, and his dog remembers him. And then that's when Tom Holland realizes who he is. And they have that very nice small moment of like, your father would be very proud of you. And Tom plays it very well of just like subdued, not going to say anything, not going to overdo it. And he just kind of walks back inside. I think that to me was just like a very nice resolution to that character arc, because that's all he really wanted for so long. And then it is kind of Tom's almost exit of the film. Like he's in it obviously the last 20 minutes, but like it's not the same after that point.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
I'd say I have a few. I loved the Cyclops sequence.
So good.
Yeah.
I loved it. I think that was like horrific, honestly. Especially when they poke the eye and the screams. I don't know about your theaters, but like my theater is like, oh my gosh.
My ears were bleeding.
Yeah. But I loved that whole sequence. And I also liked about that you almost kind of feel traditionally when you have something like that, like a Cyclops or a Beast or something that you're trying to get away from, you very heavily root against that Beast. But with the Cyclops, I like felt for it almost, and I didn't really root against it because it was like very obviously not intelligent and it wasn't inherently bad.
Yeah.
He was just like trying to take care of its sheep, and then when there were people, he thought he was supposed to eat them. Like,
bro was mad hungry.
yeah, literally. I love that whole sequence. Obviously, I love the last 30 minutes just in that kind of banquet hall and the absolute carnage and invincibility of Odysseus. And then I really liked all of the boat scenes, particularly the one after they depart the Sun God Island. And the gods just
that was so them. What a great cut of just like, let's go, we're good. And then just them just getting beaten in the water.
It's like the Wolf of Wall Street. They're like, all right, guys, we can make it. Let's go. It's some chop. We can do chop. You can do chop, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, we're all gonna die.
Great cut.
Yeah, I love that. Those are my probably 3 favorites.
I think I probably would do. I thought Hades was great when all of the soldiers are just like coming up out of the ground, and then when he hears that Agamemnon died, and he just like,
dude, Agamemnon like
they just moves. He like it was perfect. Like no effort. He just like floated over to him.
He's so cool.
And
he's the coolest dude.
I thought hearing his backstory on how he died was great. I mean, dude sacrificed his daughter. Like he kind of had that coming. But the power of the sacrifice. Yep. Yeah, no, I thought that entire sequence was great. I loved Elliot Page's discussion with Matt Damon. I thought that was all perfect. Visually, it was just so striking, that scene too. I thought Hades was great. And then the whole Circe sequence, dude. I was like, I'd heard that Nolan was kind of dipping his hand into the horror water, but dude, that was so freaky. Like I was not ready for her to dip her hand into this dude's throat and start moving it around,
Yeah.
like, and just
Ugh.
molding him like he's like
So
stunned.
good.
And I think it was so
good.
cool. Something I noticed on the second watch was like, you have those animals that she's all, or I guess the humans that she's kind of collected, that she's
Yeah.
turned into these very beautiful animals. But when Matt Damon is going up to see Cersei, the one that he stops at is the lion.
I did like that.
It's kind of like he can see almost like there's a man that's kind of like a king like himself stuck in. I don't know if maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but to me, I'm like, him seeing the king of the jungle, like it's not a mistake, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think
that's a good
once
part
he
about
had come to the realization, he'd hit the deer, he'd realize like, oh my gosh, like these are like people. And he kind of looks at this lion, and he's like, that's almost kind of like a reflection of himself. I thought that was awesome. And then the siren sequence was phenomenal. I loved it. I think it's so funny when he's like, tie me up to the mast, I want to hear it. And they're like, no one's ever heard it and lived. And he's like, great, I'll be the first. But I think it's like this entire movie, it's so go. Like every scene is just massive. It's huge. And I think on my first watch, I was hoping that there'd be a little bit more reflection upon this journey while it was taking place, you know? Because, and I understand this is a story where the characters have to make these big decisions very fast, and there's not much time for them to just like sit around, stare at the water, and be like, man, how is this making me feel? You know? But I think the siren sequence was a great reflection of that, and I think it kind of like sneaks its way into the story that I didn't really catch until the second watch. But I love how he just details it as that delicious itch that you go to scratch, but you just can't scratch it. So then it becomes, unbearable. And then I love that how he describes, what he's lost on this journey, and that his old life and is truly what he wanted, but he can't get that back, And I think that's kind of the perfect bridge to understand his mental headspace before we get to his discussion with Penelope at the end. But I will say that the siren sequence was probably what blew me away the most on my rewatch. So, and then I love it when the guy just like takes out the wax and just like dives into the water. He's like,
yeah. No, that was pretty great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. What did you guys give it out of 100? I'm at an 88 right now, and I do think it will go up on a rewatch.
Give it a 96.
Chucky, 96. So is this your number one of the year?
Yes.
All right. Jack?
I'm gonna go 96 as well. Me and Chuck were.
No, I feel like
wavelength.
All right.
Look at us. I think this is my number one movie for the year. I think just a peek into my Nolan rankings. I think I have this at 5.
I got 4. I looked at it again. I got 4 right now.
The only Nolan movies I have above this are Inception, Interstellar, Oppenheimer, and The Dark Knight. Which I know that all of our rankings and whatnot are all very different, but I think The Prestige is one that I love, and I adore that movie. But I think the grand spectacle of the Odyssey, and I think especially on a rewatch, the emotional capacity for this movie is kind of what took me to push it in the 5 spot over The Prestige. But
yeah, that's fair. Charles, you gonna stick around? Do some quick trailer talk. We don't have much.
I didn't. I think I got to bounce.
All right. Real quick thoughts on the Batman too. Quick thoughts.
Oh, awesome. In.
All right. In. We'll take it. We'll take that. All right. Thank you, Charles.
Bye.
You fellas.
All right, let's jump into some trailer talk. We'll save the Batman, I think, for last, but let's do first and foremost Behemoth. Behemoth, Tony Gilroy's first feature film in 14 years, starring Pedro Pascal as a violinist. What did you think of Behemoth?
I thought it looked good. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
stay interested. It's got Will Arnett, so I'm always excited to see Will Arnett in a more dramatic role. I think Pedro Pascal is still great. I know there's people that are upset that he is continuing to show up on their screens, but I don't think Pedro Pascal has necessarily been the letdown for me for most of the things that he's been in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this looks solid. It sounds like I think you're a little bit more high. You're a little bit higher on this movie than I
mean,
am.
I think that there's something about this one that just feels like a Academy darling. I don't know. Tony Gilroy's first film in 14, like first feature in 14 years. I think Pedro's in like a more reserved role. And let's be honest, I think we haven't seen him in the last year. Like there was like that good 18-month stretch where we saw him all the time. But like, has he been in anything this year that's released? Like, I don't think so. And I think that his last like big thing was Fantastic Four. And
yeah,
obviously he'll be in Doomsday later this year, but like right now, this is kind of the one thing I've seen of it. I think Will Arnett has had a good stretch of picking good projects. So I'm pretty interested in this. And I think this could be like a nice dark horse for, it's one of those, like we talk about good performances where it's like, yeah, this feels like maybe like I don't know, like an Emmy situation. Like he'll be nominated for like the comedy category kind of thing, but won't make the Oscar list. That feels like this is going to fall under, I think. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think this was a good trailer. But I think of all the trailers that released, it's kind of like my least, I guess, interesting. The next one, though, I think is very interesting, and that's I Play Rocky, which releases this fall, about the story of Sylvester Stallone making the first Rocky and becoming obviously very, very famous from it. I thought this looked awesome. This really surprised me.
It looked good. I think the
He's
gentleman
good.
playing Rocky, he sounds exactly like him. He looks like him. It's
Hey, I won't play Rocky though.
and it's so funny. They're just like Sylvester Stallone. It sounds like Peter Parker. And I'm just kind of like,
yeah. What you call me, Spider-Man? What are you talking about right now? I thought the guy who played Apollo was really good. I was like, whoa, that's like Apollo Creed. I was like, he's right there. He looks, I don't know, he just looks like Sylvester. Like I'm really interested in this. I think I wonder how it's shot because it looks, very 70s. And yeah, I'm impressed. Because I think there's a very fine line with a Sylvester Stallone impression that I think very easily can fall into what I just did, which is like funny. And he toes that line very well, where it doesn't feel fake, but like you're like, that clearly is that guy. So
yeah, we're all tired of biopics until it's something that we want to see.
I know. I don't want any more biopics. Michael Jackson, the Beatles. I'm waiting for the Arnold one next, and then they'll have those two guys just recreate all their movies for the next.
Hit to the chopper. That was really bad. That was really bad.
No, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like it's hard. Like it is. It's hard. All right. Next up are the big two trailers. Tom Cruise, Digger.
It looks good.
I'm so in. Bizarre, weird, freaky with that cat. But man, am I in. John Goodman having a great time. I'm in. In it.
I will say though, it gave me heavy Mickey 17 vibes.
Yeah,
there's not a sprinkle. Like it is.
Yeah, it's
to me. It feels. I feel like they're from the same cloth.
Yes, and this could be the good version of it, and or that. So that's what I was kind of saying earlier. Like I think no matter what, you're going to get a great Cruise performance. Is the movie around it great as well? I don't know. Like I hope. I really do, because I think that it'd be such a bummer to put a awesome Cruise performance in like just a less okay movie. But man, is it interesting, and I'll give it that.
And I feel like what I don't know the Oscar or the Academy's history as well as, for the past 4 years. I'm very much aware, but beyond that, I really don't have that much experience. Just because I kind of before that, I hadn't really followed movies like this, but I feel like this movie needs to be a success for Cruise to have, the Oscar success. And when I say like the movie to be a success, like Cruise, no doubt, there's no doubt in my mind he's going to be entertaining. But I think this movie also needs to resonate with the audience. Like, if this movie is a letdown outside of Cruise, I think Cruise's chances for the Oscars are non-existent.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's very fair. What I kind of think is very interesting, and I think that the Academy likes to do, is they like their storylines. And I think having a director in Inarritu be the guy who gets two Hollywood icons to their first Oscar is a storyline that I think it just sounds like something the Academy would like. And between this and The Revenant, like if this is good, and I would say if this is like 8 out of 10 and he's great in it, I think it's not a bad idea to buy stock. Like it feels
I don't have any doubts for this movie. Like I do. Like I think this is clearly very whimsical. I think it's going to be hilarious. I liked Mickey 17. Awesome. I liked Mickey 17. I know that, but I think the consensus is it's not good.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think certainly I don't think this movie is going to. I fear this movie won't be as popular with the general audience.
Well, I think it's an interesting test of his star power too. Like if he can, if Tom Cruise can will this to 200 million, like that would be a fascinating story of like he still got it. Because I mean, obviously he still has it from like a Tom Cruise, Top Gun, Mission Impossible perspective. But if he can will this to like a good box office return, that would be really interesting to see. Because this is weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And it's funny because I feel like I see a lot of stuff online and people are really excited for this movie. But again, those are just the people that are really passionate about movies and love talking about movies online. And I really do think it's going to come down to the general viewer.
The general audience.
Is this something that they want to watch? Yeah. And
fair enough.
I don't know. I think it is like weird and wacky in the best way possible for me. But I really am interested to see how that resonates with a more general audience.
Yeah, I think it's very, very fair. But no, it looks good, and I think we're going to see a lot more of it before October, which is just around the corner. So, and last but not least, it is my birthday movie this year. Last but not least, The Batman Part 2. We got our first look at The Batman in the snow camera test. The ears on the cowl are bigger, but it was delayed until February 2028. So we are still a year and a half away from The Batman. It kind of took the wind out of this, didn't it?
Yeah, no one like everything. Like if you just told me the teaser came out, I think people would have been amped for this. But because it came with it's like we're gonna give you some good news and some bad news, and we're just gonna see. We're gonna hope that the good outweighs the bad.
Yeah.
I think if they gave us like a trailer, I think a trailer could have been enough talk to really downplay the delay. But I think a 5-minute clip of him turning around that we've already seen before. I mean, look, it looks phenomenal. Do not get me wrong. I'm beyond amped for this movie. But that with the delay is the big news.
Yeah.
They're going to Denis Villeneuve will have released just about the entire Dune trilogy by the time this movie comes out with a second one. And I say just about because
I think it is.
The first Dune came out months before the Batman. Months.
Yeah.
So Dune came out in 2021, Batman in early 2022. I want to say like Dune was like November and Batman was like March.
No, but you see, Matt Reeves is protecting us from Anthony Muschietti's Brave and the Bold. he's delaying on purpose to protect us.
He's protecting Batman from the DCU.
Yeah, he is. You know what? I've kind of gotten to the point with this movie where it's like, you know your fate if you're Matt Reeves. Like, Matt Reeves is delayed and delayed and delayed, which is just the anticipation is growing and growing and growing and getting more and more. And it's just like at a certain point, he probably knows, hey, it's a lot. Like the thoughts behind this movie are probably insane. I think the expectations are humongous. So for him, it's like, you know what? Then just give me a little bit more time to finish it and do it right. And it's like, and for me, it's like, you know what? Sure. But now you've put yourself in a corner.
Waited so long. I'm fine with that. But man,
yeah, like you put yourself in a corner where it's like, you know, Matt, listen to the show. You know, now you got no excuse. Like it's like you've put yourself in a position where there is no excuse. Like this has got to be great. It's got to be exceptional because it's like, hey, take your time, finish it. Like let's get it going. And if it's not, then it's, you know, fraud watch. Like, you know, that's kind of where we're at. But this first look is incredible. The orange and the flashing police lights in the background, the snow falling, the longer ears. It just, oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good.
2 tickets, please.
I will say though, getting this in February of 2028,
yeah,
dude. Like, how lucky are we that we're gonna be rolling off a super
summer,
a super amazing 2027.
Yeah,
and literally at the beginning of the year, we're gonna have to hit maybe 1 month of like the general January slop. But January was a good month this year. I mean, I know we all give January a lot of crap, but
no, there were some good ones
this year. But I think, look, we do one bad month, but even we still get a bunch of like indie releases from like the limited.
How about Sam Raimi?
Yeah, I mean, dude, imagine we wait 1 month and then we get the Batman in 2028, dude. That is going to be
the Batman one weekend, Jason Statham Beekeeper Part 3 the next weekend. Like it's the dream that we could only dream about in a fantasy land.
Are we really going to get a Beekeeper trilogy before the Batman Part 2?
Yeah, he's got to keep the bees for 3 straight movies.
As soon as GTA drops, the Batman Part 2 is going to be the new thing.
Oh yeah, we got GTA 6 before the Batman Part 2.
Yeah.
I think it's also interesting too. Like if you're, I don't know. I think that there's a good chance that maybe this is just a duology. Then, you know.
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking that maybe like this is just like it was him becoming the hope in the city, and maybe 2 is just him living in legacy. It's like I don't know. Like, so I'm very interested to see this. I obviously going to give it a lot of grace. Like I'm very pumped when it does finally come out, but the expectations are humongous, and I think they're only going to get bigger. Like I just don't feel like you can delay again. You've shown us the first look. Like you're clearly filming. Like you cannot delay it again.
I will say it has been nice. Please. I'm glad that Robert Pattinson has been able to participate in so many other amazing projects. And
well, did we read it last week of like what he's in between? And it's like insane.
Yeah, because he's got what the Catch a Predator movie. He had the drama. He had the Odyssey. He has Dune Part 2.
Yeah, Mickey's 17. So he actually didn't do anything between 2022 and 2025. But since 2025, he has Mickey 17, Die My Love, the drama, the Odyssey, Primetime, Dune 3, Here Comes the Flood, and then the Batman. Which Primetime, that trailer played before my Odyssey showing, and I'm so in on that.
I know, it looks good.
Yeah, him just being like, you're a part of television history. Because I'm Chris Hansen. So good. Dude loves his little weird
Take a
voices.
seat.
Take a seat. Why don't you take a seat? What did you expect was going to happen here tonight? It's so, dude. He's such.
I mean, you have Skylar in it, man. You have Sando.
The Jizz Man.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I mean, I think it's you know, there's a chance we get our next Nolan first look at the Batman Part 2.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, it's insane to think that the Batman Part 2 is going to come out.
Oh, what was your pitch for Nolan's next movie?
Well, it's not necessarily a movie pitch for him, but it's like this. I need this. Come on, dude. The Nolan Cruise team up.
Oh, I know. I've been thinking this too.
Like,
since that Odyssey, and then they showed the Oppenheimer picture from Barbenheimer.
Throw him in. Just like he doesn't need to be the main. Like, look, having Cruise be the main character would be incredible.
Cruise is a Nolan villain. Oh my god,
dude. I don't care if he's a janitor in the halls. Yeah. Like, just get him in.
Give me Cruise.
I feel like, and I love that Nolan has his guys that he likes to work with.
But once he gets in, he's in.
Yeah. So we'll see.
It is funny. I feel like Nolan guys almost like earn their due to become his leading man. Like Killian had to do a couple movies, and then he became the leading man. Damon, same thing. Yeah. And then it feels like Pattinson is kind of next in line. Like I wouldn't be shocked if the next one's Pattinson.
No, it's true.
Or Holland even. But man, it's just give me the Cruise Nolan combo would just be.
I know.
Ooh, man, it'd be so good. I was trying to think too, like, excuse me. I was trying to think of like my own version of the next Nolan thing, and I was thinking if he sticks with the same thematic kind of line of, a person's choice changes the trajectory of like the world they once knew. I think it'd be really interesting to see Nolan's take on the birth of the internet. Because I feel as though he probably feels very similar as someone who's very analog and wants things to be on like film and wants things to be very old school. And he only has like, I think, a flip phone. Like, I think that'd be a very interesting film because it almost is our modern day version of these last two stories. Like the birth of the internet changed everything. Like there's no way to go back. You cannot put the genie back in the bottle. And I think that'd be a really interesting kind of story and way to do it. And I think you can even get the Oppenheimer scene again, where it's like him thinking like, did we destroy the world? I think we did. And then it shows like what can happen. Like it is just our life now. And I think that like, if he's to continue this thematic line, I think that's a very interesting way to take it. And I think there's an interesting story there too, of like, I'm sure there was like almost an arms race between people trying to do it. And I think you got to make it very different than Social Network, obviously, because you think of it the same way. But I think that there's a difference between social media and the internet itself, because I think at the time, in the same way you don't think of the repercussions, the internet was like this next great frontier, and it was almost like a Lewis and Clark like exploration. But in the same way, like you didn't know what it could become. It just went such a direction that I think is really interesting. Also, I'd like to see him do an American Revolution movie. I think that'd be cool too.
One of my buddies on the old TikTok wants a Western, and honestly, I'd be all for that. I feel like that would be nasty.
Yeah, a Nolan Western.
Yeah.
Building the trains.
I enjoy that I can watch the Odyssey and be like, wow, I like that he kind of has found this area of interest.
Yeah.
With between the Odyssey and Oppenheimer, but I think I'm not to say that I was bored at any point between these last two movies, but I think I'd very much like to see him do something different.
Yeah, I think I want him to go back to modern day.
And the Odyssey was a fantastic, oh my gosh, like such an ambitious project to choose, like something that's never been adapted at this scale before ever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Nolan's stories are so unique, and
Tenet.
I don't know what he's gonna do next. And even Tenet, while it's towards the back end of my Nolan ranking, like I still think it's a enjoyable.
I still think it's better than most modern blockbusters. Like
100%.
From like a thematic perspective, like it's his weirdest kind of out there one, which is funny to think like that's his weirdest one after he just did the Odyssey, but like it still is like it's just bizarre in like a great way. And I don't know. I really think that. I mean, there's been a clear last two movies of him latching on to historical figures who have an impossible choice that they make. And I wonder if that theme is going to carry on, or if he's just like, hey, I did my time in this zone. Let me move on to something different.
Yeah. I feel like he's going to move on to something different.
I think he might. I think he might take a step back and a break. Like he said, it was going to be about 3 years, probably till his next thing, which I'd probably say 4. So like we might not see another Nolan until 2030, which is crazy to say.
I'm interested though, because I do remember the summer of Oppenheimer. I want to say it was like August. We probably heard that he was doing the Odyssey. So
yeah, I think like that was pretty clear, like right back to back.
I wouldn't be shocked if, and I've just looking at his filmography, it's kind of been over like a 3-year progression over the last like 5 films. So
yeah, it does feel like it's been ramping up to this in a sense. Like his post-Batman era has kind of been like chugging along, and I think it's almost his IMAX era. Like he's getting more and more comfortable with the format until finally making like the fully IMAX film. And it's like, you did it. You made the epic on IMAX. Like now what do you do next? And I think that's a hard question to answer. And I wonder what direction he'll go, but I think whatever it is, it'll be interesting. And I wouldn't even mind if he went back to an original story, like with like an Interstellar or like a Tenet thing.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like do your own thing. Like, hey, you've done 2 adaptations back to back. Like let's go back to the Nolan well and see what you got.
No, I'm with you.
Especially because, let's just be honest, after Oppenheimer and after this, he's getting the biggest blank check movie you've ever seen. Like he'll just be able to do whatever he wants. And maybe he has something rattling around in his brain that he's been wanting to make, where it's just like, hey, this is gonna be stupid expensive, it's super weird, but like I want to do it. And it's like, all right, then let's see it.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of the biggest, Warner Brothers with the massive
fumble,
dude. I mean,
fumble.
They had it in their hands, and
yeah,
bros. I mean, this movie's gonna make.
I think it's
like
$700 million,
right?
Yeah,
really?
I think 700-800 is for sure, but like I just don't know like the legs on it. But the same way, like maybe it will have legs on it because of people seeing it different formats.
And I it's crazy to me, and I'm only speaking from my area, so I don't want to speak for what your theaters look like. But I mean, dude, literally the IMAX theaters alone are like every showing is sold out for the next like week at least. Dolby is filling up every night. Like,
yeah, my 70mm screening, which is not even like a premium large format, is sold out for tonight.
Yeah, like I don't remember a movie being sold out like this in a long time.
Yeah.
Like it is
kind of sweet. And speaking of selling out movies, tomorrow, it's tomorrow.
What?
Avengers Doomsday tickets go on sale.
Oh, nice.
So make sure you see it in Infinity Vision. It'd be a real bummer if you missed out watching it in Infinity Vision.
Cricket.
I'm actually, I don't know. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited for Mr. Doomsday getting on sale tomorrow.
I'm anticipating Doomsday because
I'm nervous though, because I'm going to do Thursday Doomsday and then Saturday Dune. So I got to like make it through 2 days of no spoilers on Dune.
The thing that frustrates me the most is that I'll probably just get my Doomsday tickets. But then if it interferes with my Dune viewing experience, it's going real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very interested. I hope that you guys were able to get into the panel.
I know we're gonna try our darndest.
It's gonna be. I'm sure it's gonna be pretty hectic to get in there. But either way, we should have a trailer to discuss. Like next week?
I think for sure. So, I mean, that's where it's kind of weird next week. Obviously, we're all kind of traveling next week, so we'll figure out what the schedule looks like. But, yep. I mean, worst comes to worst, we'll do like a quick emergency pod, just talk about the trailer drop and maybe a quick one.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see what the trailer looks like. I think
that they realize they're fighting an uphill battle. I do. I really do think that they're realizing that.
And I think that more and more people are, and I don't think this is a shock to anyone, that, I think we still love Marvel and we want to appreciate their projects and we want to enjoy them. Like Fantastic Four, I think all of us were beyond excited, and we're really hoping to love that. And we all just kind of walked away just feeling meh.
Yeah.
I think we all loved the Thunderbolts. We really, really did like that. But I think what's frustrating is that they have had, and I'm literally just echoing probably everything we've said in the last like 100 episodes.
Yeah.
But like they've made good characters over
Yeah.
or they've had good movies.
Yeah.
They have no faith in Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is great. I mean, even with Sam Wilson, like the movie itself, respectfully, it's not good. But I think they just did such a massive disservice to him. Like it almost feels like they're like, yeah, oh crap, it didn't do well. Let's bring Steve Rogers back. You know,
Yeah.
like
It's just it's
know,
a very
but this
interesting
trailer-
way they're handling it.
the trailer's going to be, it's going to tell a lot,
Yes,
and
I agree.
we'll see.
Which I think it's also very bold of them to, because the trailer is not going to come out until probably Saturday of Comic-Con. What you're saying, if your tickets release on Monday and your trailer doesn't come with it until Saturday, you're saying I want a week of sales with no trailer. It's a big call your shot moment because there's a good chance. I mean, I think it's going to sell like $1 bajillion in tickets, but like I do think that there's a small percentage of chance people are like, I haven't seen anything from this. Like, how am I?
Respectfully, I'm not.
Yeah.
Because I have A-list, I'll try to get tickets. But if it gives
I'm
me the same,
only going to do it early because I want my seats. I want like the seat I want, which is my big problem.
because I have A-list, if it's accessible for me to grab tickets,
Yeah.
I'll snag them. But if it gives me the same problems as the Odyssey or Dune, I'm not doing all that. Respectfully,
Yeah.
like I don't. At this point, they don't have me interested enough to go through all of that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. But yeah, so that's it for the Odyssey, and first look at the Batman and Tom Cruise on the Oscar train. Anything else, Jack? Next week Comic-Con, so it'll be a little weird.
Yeah.
But hey, enjoy your vacation as well.
I know. I'm pumped to see all the super cool things you guys get up to. Maybe next year. Next year with Comic-Con.
Gotta try. I mean, hey, we didn't
I know.
get it this year.
I know. It's such an odd. It's so funny. I'm always on family vacations when Comic-Con. It's
Yeah.
like it's like my
Virtual.
family's like, you cannot go.
No, you cannot go. Just do a family vacation to San Diego, and then it's like, oh, I'm just happen to be here. That's so weird. I probably should go outside for a little bit. Yeah. All right. Awesome, man. Well, hey, till next week when we get our first look at Doomsday. Peace.